So, Nick, do you like your family?
Do I like my family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that you like your next of kin?
Oh, like a bloomin' onion.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
A bloomin' onion. Crikey.
You guys are going to get a lot of that this episode.
That is fucking piss poor, Emily.
I know.
Hey guys, it's your favorite final girl and boy, Emily and Nick, and your favorite final baby, Mike, coming at you with a new episode of Gag Me with a Knife, a weekly podcast where we dissect, disembowel, and shred the best and worst slasher movies. Here's another Patreon requested episode for Hugo, all the way in Australia. So, hello, Hugo, and let's shout out at the boss, Mr. King. You know who the fuck you are.
G'day, Mr. King.
Mr. King, Don King?
Hey, well, dude, no, there's a. I'm not. Never mind. Hey, what are we talking about? 1982's Next to Kin. Emily's got a box.
I keep thinking.
I have two boxes.
I keep thinking you're saying.
This is the place.
Do you guys see you're Mexican? I keep hearing Nick say Mexican. It's next to kin.
Next to
Next
Kin.
to
It just sounds like Mexican.
No, man.
You're
my nose is all
racist.
stuffed
I
up.
am
I'm sorry.
not.
I am not.
You're raisinist?
I said he's
I like
against
raisins.
raisins.
I even
Are
like
you
raisins.
spacist? Do you hate space?
I do fucking hate space. How'd you
No
know
shit.
this?
Yeah, man.
I hate space.
You know it's where we all
and
live.
I hate robots.
I don't
We
like
live in
dinosaurs.
space.
I hate robot.
Why do you
cops.
hate anything?
You
hate robots.
I hate robots. Yeah,
Dude,
and
we're
stupid
kind of
fucking
on a
art.
robot right now. Like
Yeah.
we're in the robot.
Take
we're
your
loving the
robot
robot.
art and shove it up your.
Why do you
what
hate
kind of holes do
space?
robots have?
You got
fake.
robots on your ears, man.
Do you like that skit on
Space is
SNL
fake,
where
man. Like a
well,
telescope
Space is
and a
not fake.
microscope?
Space,
A telescope and a microscope, they're like the same.
Wait.
a telescope and a microscope are the same thing as what he just said.
No,
they're not.
they're
It's a lot
opposites.
closer than you think.
I mean, oh yeah, I see. I get what you're doing. You know, like
Put you in the
metaphysics kind of thing.
ICU.
Stupid.
You're like an Emmanuel
And
Kant
Hugo,
over
we
here.
see you down under there, mate.
Do you like that SNL skit about space where Will
It's
Ferrell
fake.
is playing Harry Carey and Jeff Goldblum is in it? Remember, and he's like, "If the moon was made of spare ribs, would you eat it?"
I forgot to mention this. I also hate SNL.
Well, that
All
skit is
of it?
good.
No, that was a joke.
You know that's.
I do
that
hate
skit's
robot in space and
robots in
and
space.
cops.
I'm gonna read the back of this
except
box
Emily's
now.
neighbor.
So
I think she's got a box.
yeah, two. Vagina.
Get your fingers out of it.
I didn't say that. I said
Created
box.
by some of Australia's most talented filmmakers, Next of Kin is a well-crafted suspense thriller that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Linda Stevens left when she was just a child, but now is returning to inherit the estate in which her mother ran as a home for the aged. Almost immediately, strange and ominous occurrences start happening, and Linda is plagued by terrifying nightmares. As unrest gives way to mounting terror, Linda turns to her mother's diaries for answers and discovers a horrifying correlation between the events which threaten her sanity and those which killed her mother. Her revelation leads to one of the most shocking and suspense-filled conclusions ever to be put on film. 1982. Okay.
It's pretty good.
I mean, I really like this movie, but it is not anywhere near the most shocking and suspenseful conclusions ever to be put on film.
I mean, I'd put it in top 25, 50.
I wouldn't.
If coming out in 1982, for 1982, yeah.
Okay, Psycho. They've been doing twist endings since the dawn of time.
Yeah, but
the
there's
cavemen probably have twist endings.
They even ratchet up a notch with child endangerment, sugar falling over. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
I don't know what you're talking about. So
The sugar stacking,
I don't think I noticed that.
dude.
Okay, well, I guess I'll okay.
Maybe I just am ultra like locked in on all the detail shit.
Yeah, but I will say there is a cat trope at 41 minutes. I just want everyone
Guess
to know
what else
that.
there is? There's a fucking full moon. Full moons and cats. It's like what horror movies are all about.
And Lance, love him.
There is more full moons and cats than blood in horror movies throughout the years.
Throughout these slashers, yeah.
I know this is like kind of a stretch, and this is just kind of like a weird little thing. Do you guys
I guess
know
I'll hold on to the next
okay,
thing.
so like I've only seen this. Okay, so this movie, I don't know why it reminded me of this.
Invisible Maniac, and then Friday 13th Part 6.
But I've only seen the movie Mandy with Nicolas Cage, that one that came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once, but I was like,
I couldn't finish it.
I
couldn't finish the house that Jack built
well,
either.
I was
remember that.
exhausted from work, and I kept coming to and fro in between this movie, and it was like a fever. Well, into consciousness. But it was like a fever dream of just like all these weird colors and everything. And now, mind you, this movie doesn't have that. But the thing is like, I kind of felt like this movie was like every time I came like into consciousness and like saw like a bit of Mandy throughout, like the movie, just like laying on my couch like
No, the mood and atmosphere are just like
it's intense.
It is like a nightmare.
It's always intense. You know what I mean? It's like really, really like
even like playful shit, like when they're in the woods and homeboy's hiding from her.
Yeah.
Like you think something horrible is gonna fucking happen there, but most of the like violence is in the last. 10 minutes?
No, it's intense.
Kind of reminded me of Evil. I mean, okay, it's a completely different movie, but it kind of reminded me of Christmas Evil, where like most of the stuff happens at the end.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. So we were talking about that last time, or whenever we did Christmas Evil or whatever. It's like it's a slasher by definition, but like you said Taxi Driver.
That was
that
was Taxi Driver meets Christmas.
It's kind of a drama, but it's a really good
I think
Christmas
that this is more of a psychological thriller than a horror movie, than like a slasher.
It's a lot deeper than it lets on.
But it is horror, and we said any horror for Patreon. So
I really like the use of water imagery. Whenever like water comes on the screen, like either inside of somebody's mind or like at sometimes
that bathtub. Oof.
Yeah. But like there's the fountain like the rainstorms, like there's probably some kind of Freudian shit that we just don't know.
I did write at one point
with water.
This is getting way ahead, but with the water thing, I wrote shower water scene suspense leading to nothing at 43 minutes was cool though. I guess I liked the shot. It led to nothing, but I thought it looked cool.
I like that fountain of blood.
We're
super good.
Okay, so you liked it?
I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good too.
Yeah, it was really, really
I still, we'll get to the ratings. I still can't give it a 4, but it's close.
It was very intense and very, very it's cinematically shot well, and I think like I'm not no college kid or anything, but like that. But
I'm not no college. That would mean that you are.
No, he ain't, y'all.
But it's one of those things like it is
a double negative.
It is an achievement with like some of the shots in it. Like there's this one shot where they're walking between the sheets, and we'll get there or whatever, and it's like shot perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's shot perfectly in this movie, I think.
Aesthetically
and
pleasing.
Also shocking that Linda really didn't go on to do much. There were other actors in this movie that went on to do stuff, but she didn't really do a whole lot of stuff. And I thought she was great.
Maybe she was scarred by it.
She dyed her hair even, like, it was already dark brown, but she dyed it a darker shade of brown for the movie, which makes
that's a concept album.
Which is like very
a darker shade of brown, whiter shade of pale.
That Linda.
Purple harem.
Let's get this going.
She's real.
Yeah. Fucking roll it.
So we see, we open up on a bloody girl, Linda, walking around a truck. She like rests her head on the trunk, and we get this voiceover of her mother, where her mother's like, "I bequeath you this manor and everything I have." She like gives her like in her will.
What's the manor called? It's like
Montclair.
Montclair, yeah.
So she gets in the trunk. Like she gets in the truck, and then this cool looking title sequence happens, or not sequence, but like the text is like scrolling by and the credits happen, and then we see Linda driving down a long country road, and there's this kid Nico in the back of her truck in the bed. It's like, oh man, she should probably slow down. There's a little kid back there, and they stop at a diner.
Nico looks straight out of a giallo too.
He reminds me of the kid from like Road Warrior.
Well, I thought
that's what all Australian kids remind me of.
Well, what I thought was funny was we were the other movie that we're recording for. He looked like he could have been in that movie.
Do you think all Australian children are the feral kid from Road Warrior?
I mean,
well, actually, it's the next movie.
My nephews are like that.
It's the next movie.
This is a Patreon request from Australia, and you're gonna say some shit like that.
I think the Lord Humongous Emperor
You
of the
think he's
Wasteland.
down,
I
like,
think
he's a
the
mayor
Lord
of, like,
Humongous
fucking,
is the
like,
greatest leader
like, what is it,
in human
Queenstown?
history.
Queensland.
Queensland, or like what's the other one?
It starts with an M, right?
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Perth.
No,
Sydney.
yeah. Sydney.
These are cities, and I thought we started with. Isn't there like?
Now we're being terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
Is Tasmania
Hugo.
part
I
of
know.
Australia?
I'm really bad with geography, so I thought New Zealand was in Europe until like 10 years ago.
So yeah, they stop at this.
No. It turns out it's in South America.
They stop at this diner.
Isn't it? I thought it was near Australia.
Wait,
No,
what's the
it's right.
question here?
I don't fucking know.
what's the
New
question?
Zealand?
New
It's
Zealand
15
is-
minutes away from Hawaii.
Isn't it near Australia?
Yeah, it's near Australia.
Yes, it's very near Australia.
Is it in Australia?
No,
It's
Tasmania is
inside
border.
of it. There's this big. Never mind. This is.
It's also
terrible.
in the Pacific Island.
All right. You want to talk about Colin Hay?
So they get to this diner that's
Colin.
owned by Nika's dad.
What is that guy's name?
And there's this cool.
Farrell?
No.
Oh.
Isn't
He's
he
Australian?
Australian? Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
didn't get this.
The Bee Gees. Well, they weren't actually. They just lived there.
Hugo will get this.
Okay, we can stop listing Australian shit. We
Oh, wait.
know.
What did you just say?
Gooch
I
Palms.
said AC,
Emma and the
DC.
Sniffers.
Oh, no. I thought there was another
Triffids.
group that's like paycheck. I think I don't know where they're from, though.
Name drop.
Hugo, forgive us. We're stupid Americans.
We're idiots.
But yeah, we get to the diner that Nico's dad owns. There's this bitchin' Beatnik's pinball machine in there. There's Linda and Nico are stacking forks and spoons like some kind of crazy people, and there are murders in the background on the TV. You couldn't really hear what they were saying.
Oops, I'm sorry. I'm having sinus issues.
Me too.
Cool.
And Nico's dad, the owner of the diner, is like, your mother used to come in and just sit and stare out the windows. And she's like, really?
Yeah, she
'Cause
acts really
Linda has
weirded
not
out
seen
about
her
it.
mom in like a lot of time.
Well, that's kind of a weird thing to say, you know. It's like
Also,
if
they
she used to
never
come
really
and just like
explained
stare.
why she hadn't seen her mom.
You
in a
don't
while.
stare
Well, she was
out a window.
4 when she saw that body, and she's like
What
24
body?
now. Yeah, I mean, in her nightmares.
Right, I know, but I
there's,
just
like,
like,
the fact-
but did they ever explain like?
Yeah,
Okay,
We'll
well, I
get
didn't
there.
get that. I didn't get that. Okay.
yeah, that's more towards the end. That's like the when she like finds all the diaries and shit. Okay,
There we
Yeah.
go.
so she's like, all right, I'm gonna go to Montclair retirement home, which is mine now, bitches. And Lance is Lance. I had a friend named Lance, and his mom would always, when she was hollering for, she'd be like,
Nobody ever had a friend named Lance.
down there. Because we're smoking weed and shit. 'Cause
No
we're dumb
Lance ever
teenagers.
smoked weed, and nobody ever had a friend named
Hey,
Lance.
he's
Get
the
on with it.
greatest Mormon of all time.
Lance Bass, NSYNC.
Does he have a friend?
Does he smoke
Yeah,
weed?
he has a husband.
Who?
Yo, Lance Bass,
Wait,
you
he
got
has
that
a
good shit.
husband?
Holla at me.
He's
So
gay.
Lance is watering flowers
I didn't
before
know
a
that.
storm, and she's like,
He's, like,
"Dude, it's gonna
famously gay.
rain. Help me get in the laundry." So they go
Famously gay.
and they're gathering laundry off of the line, and it starts to rain, and then they're in some gazebo folding laundry and shit. And she later on, she gets
Into
Lance
the
inside.
Payson by Sleaford Mods. That's what it is.
She is looking through old photos and reading a little bit of her mom's diaries. And there's like a stamp collection, some wind chime that we see a couple times.
They're English.
And she puts on her mother's red robe and hangs it back up. And she's on this cool ass spiral staircase, and lightning is striking. And we hear cat noises in the attic. And she goes up there, like everybody in horror movies does, to the attic to find the cat.
Yeah.
Because it happened
Or
in
just in
Trick or
Black
Treat.
Christmas.
It happened in Black
It didn't
Christmas.
oh yeah, it did
Yeah,
happen.
no,
in
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how
That's how,
fake meatloaf tricks the
Andrea
girl.
dies.
Comes, yeah.
If
There's
it's
at
not
least a
just
third.
genuine curiosity, it's some other person going, "No, come on."
Yeah.
Come over here.
You want to go in the you know what? There is something though about an attic. Like I've always wished that
Dusty pussy in the attic.
that I had an attic like that
pussy
that has
in
like
the
you go up there and you
dusty
find.
Well, I
old
mean, the
stuff.
higher you
She
are
calls
off
them
the ground, the harder
puss
you
puss.
come. Everybody
Come on,
knows
puss
that.
puss.
True.
Yeah. Like,
So yeah, she
that's why they call it getting off.
Is
Getting
in
off
the attic
fucking
now.
ground, man.
and there's really dusty when she like turns on the light. Like dust goes everywhere, and she finds this old ball.
See, turn on the
And
light, desk goes
then she
everywhere.
knows there's like a window open, and she's like struggling to close this window, and there's like apparently bare wires about to touch the fucking water puddle. And Connie, the girl who's been running
The
this,
Bare Wires, the band. Name drop again.
Are they Australian?
No.
Oh, then fuck them. They don't match that.
Everybody else was, but not those.
So Connie, this lady who scares her while she's in the attic, she's like, watch those wires. They're almost in that puddle. And she tells her to be careful. And then Laura finds out there's a new person coming in, even though she's like, I said no more new people. I'm thinking about selling. So we see lightning hitting a tree, and the tree limb falls right in front of this car that's pulling in. And there's this old lady that is like...
We've already met Lance at this point, haven't we?
Yeah, I was talking about Lance.
Nobody has a friend named Lance.
They were folding clothes in the gazebo.
I forgot about... That's why we were talking about Lance. Sorry.
Well, so you get off Wordle.
Shut up.
This guy carries his mom to a wheelchair, even though then she like gets up and starts walking. They get locked out of the house for a second. They get let in.
They should be for that fraud.
And it looks like the driver of the van that's dropping off this very important new customer. He's making they're kind of like giving each other flirty looks. Did you guys catch that?
No.
It's her cousin. Fuck.
Fucking Tia and Mikey over there.
Oh, spoiling it again. So then she is reading another diary entry by her mom about somebody walking around in the middle of the night and keeping her up. And Linda looks outside the window in the rain and she sees this ominous shadowy figure just out there in the rain, and something gets her attention. She looks back and that's gone. But then we see her first sweaty nocturnal she's having nightmares, y'all. And she dreams of playing with that red ball.
She thought she was dreaming of demons, but she's really dreaming of angels.
Angels. Angels.
Okay.
What the fuck was...
Were you about to break it? Were you about to break into something there?
Some Rocky.
Just go ahead and do it.
No,
dude.
it's all good.
Go on. We're
I've
ready.
already been, what the fuck? And I took
Were you about to do some meatloaf? Do some meatloaf.
We love it.
I can't.
Wait.
I won't
Opportunity blast my soul.
I won't do that.
Rock and roll.
I won't do that, Nick.
Harmonize, Mike.
Oh.
Okay, anyway, back to...
So she's having dreams of playing with a red ball. And also in the dream, there's the elongated hallway. Did you guys see that? Like hallway vision where it gets longer?
No, it's really cool. Good. Yeah.
She's all sweaty in bed. And then it's a sunny morning. And
hot and bothered over
we
here.
see Lance getting ready to hop in the bath. And it looks like it's really hot in there. I don't want to
talk to Lance. God damn it.
Lance.
Go back to the girl.
No, she's awake now. No. I think.
But no.
There's some old guys trying to watch
I didn't mean that.
Trying to watch cricket or some shit on the telly, and this old lady's vacuuming. They're like, she's always clean. That's all she ever does. And the guys are like, stop with that machine. It messes with the telly. Yeah.
Cool.
So Linda's like, I gotta go, and when she's gone, like when Lance is getting into the tub,
like messing with the
Lance like steps on Collins's head because there's a dead man floating in the bathtub.
Oh yeah, dude, that shit's awesome.
Oh, it looked gnarly. I was like, did they use a real dead, old dead man? Badass. So then we see Connie and a few of the other inmates. I mean, old people.
Inmates. You just
what do you call them? Lodgers?
It's a nursing home.
It's a nursing.
It's a retirement home. Yeah. But you could also call it a prison, I guess.
They are condemned to death. Kinda.
Well, I mean, everyone is.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. So
we see them getting this tub of lard out of the tub of water, tub of lard out of a tub of water.
Looks like Ed Asner.
That part creeped me out. Like, are you talking about when he like fills the dead body?
Yeah, he like stomps on him. He
stomps it. It's he doesn't mean to.
He's like trying to get in the tub.
It's fucking creepy though. I did not.
And the way that the guy looks blue. And
yeah,
and they've got that towel draped over his old dong.
It was gross. It was a really cool shot, but it was for sure.
Old dong as a concept album.
Old dong.
Old dong.
So then we see Linda in the truck, and the guy from.
Do you guys think like Linda looks like a low rent Brooke Shields?
I think she's hotter.
I mean,
you would.
Really?
You always like mousy looking girls.
I like mousy girls.
But
guess
it is true because remember he liked Phil in Black Christmas. He liked who was the fucking mousy girl he liked? Oh, I think he liked that really annoying girl in Humongous, the sister.
Oh yeah, the mousy one.
Well, he loves Lord Humongous.
Lord Humongous, Lord of the Wasteland.
Yeah, well, you're the one that gave. You're the one that gave Humongous 5.
I wish I was wearing my Humongous T-shirt. I've got a Humongous
T-shirt. Ruled. Lord Humongous.
Not 5 stars though.
Oh, dude, it's a shit. It's Scooby Doo.
Anyway.
So yeah, she's driving down this old ass dirt road. Maybe all the roads are dirt down there. I don't know. Like Mississippi. In Mississippi, like you get off a main highway, you're on a dirt road.
Oh shit.
But she's like going down this road.
You don't have to drive far out of any city in America to get to where you're talking about.
Yeah. Well,
any direction.
She's driving, and the dude in the van from the night before, her cousin, he like starts. It's like, is he playing chicken with her? Like, there's nobody else coming though. He's just being real creepy on the road and like waving at her and shit. Did you guys notice this part?
Yeah,
it's scary. I was like, is this supposed to be flirting? Like, maybe it's some kind of custom I'm not aware of. And then we see
customs.
There's a dead bird in the road outside of this hotel. It like. You're looking at a dead bird and then it zooms out and there's the Continental Hotel.
That reminds me of
this movie is shot very, very well.
That reminds me of a Slumber Party Massacre 2 when she's like, Courtney, what were you looking at? And she's like, a dead bird. She's like, you are so weird sometimes.
Me too.
No, the way this movie is shot.
Bird. Like, I forgot about that.
She goes, a dead bird. She's like, you are so weird sometimes.
And then, is that when she's like, I'm really getting fed up with this zit?
No, that's Sally, and that's later.
Oh yeah.
Sally?
Yeah, different Sally.
The mousy one's the cute one. Wait, is the mousy one in Slumber Party 2?
No.
That would be
Courtney, that's the one.
I think
from
I like
Wings.
the rich one.
Oh yeah, Sheila.
She's
hot, yeah.
Sheila.
The one that's like dating TJ, the dumb guy.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude, she's like, TJ, touch your
take a fucking joke, you stupid bitch. Did he sound like that?
I think your sweethearts would take too many diet pills.
Can we do Pumpkinhead? Does that count as a slasher?
No, but anyway, go ahead.
It is too. Okay.
Can you do?
So we get.
I say Evil Dead.
We're at the hotel. We're meeting Barney. I'm sorry. Barney sounds like he has like marbles in his mouth to me. I couldn't understand anything that Barney was saying except firehouse.
Yeah.
So I got lost in my notes.
Shocker.
Boo.
Are you gonna say man riding?
That's another movie we can't review because it's not a slasher.
Man riding washing
it's a
machine.
Shocker.
Man riding washing machine. Squiggly lines.
How do you remember all this shit?
Because I listened to that part about 4,000 times because it was so funny. Because we were like,
remember when I had B brother? I was like, "What's B brother?" I was like, "Oh, big," or BB, and I was like, "Oh, it's Big Brother."
I don't remember that. But
well, you're missing out.
I guess so. But I have listened to the turd on the.
An eternity
You
later.
listen to the turd?
The turd on the
Don't
puppy
ever
pad
listen
about
to the
40,000 times.
Never listen to the turd.
The turd will tell all.
No. Crystal gazing butthole.
So yeah, Barney's lost his license. I'm guessing because he's a drunk. And guess what? They go swimming in some crocodile-infested river. Seriously, when I saw the river, they were
It's getting
swimming
excited
in.
over here.
It reminded me of Crocodile Dundee.
Oh my god, I loved that movie when I was little.
I did too.
I haven't watched it in years.
Man,
but...
you guys are being worse than I thought I ever could.
Hey. You got a problem with you call that a knife? That ain't a knife.
Oh man. That's a Subaru Outback.
Sorry, Hugo. I'm sure you don't want to hear that.
Wait, what?
That's a Subaru Outback.
I apologize to Hugo for bringing up Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan is a race trading piece of shit.
What?
He sold his whole country out. He did, dude.
The Australian race?
Yeah. Not the Aborigines, but...
No, let's not talk about all that. All right, so Barney lost his license.
He sold him
asshole. He did. He fucking did. You guys just praised him, and now you're mad at me for calling him out for what he did.
But I have no idea, and I don't want to know.
I just told you what was up and what fucking time it was, and you guys were like praising him and saying, I love those movies.
Man, I was,
I
I was fucking 7 years old.
Yeah, I didn't know he was like
We went
a
to see
race
him in the
traitor.
theater.
I don't know. Is that what you said?
That's
I mean, are you guys cool with Forrest Gump? Tom Hanks playing an idiot?
No, I'm not cool with Forrest Gump in general. I hate that movie.
Needs
You
God.
know
do
it
too.
beat out. It
Crocodile
beat out. I
Dundee.
think Pulp Fiction for Best Picture of the Year. That year.
Crocodile
Fuck
Dundee.
that.
Crocodile Dundee is way better than Forrest Gump.
That is true. That is true.
Sure.
Way
all
more
right.
rewatchability. When he pours all the guy's cocaine into a bowl of water.
I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a long time.
He's like, why are you storing all that powder? You can just turn it into steam. I think he thought it was like BC powder or
Yeah,
some
man,
shit.
it's garbage.
You can live off of it, but it tastes like shit.
Hey, man.
All right, so they're swimming, and then they're not swimming anymore. They're
Good pull.
they're
Far
changing the flowers at Linda's mother's grave, and then they're gallivanting in a field like it's 1870. They run into a forest.
It's like Aussie Suspiria or something. Like.
They run into this forest, and Barney's missing. She can't find Bonnie. She's like, Bonnie! It's not funny. Bonnie!
Yeah, Bonnie. yeah.
She sees, like, I'm pretty sure it was due to the van in hindsight. She
Sure,
sees,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, and she's like, thinks it's Barney. She's calling out to the dude that she sees between the trees, and then we see, like, a hand come up and grab her face, and it's like Barney's behind her. She's like, oh, well, who the fuck is that? And Barney plays another trick, like acting like he got stabbed by the person that was no longer there.
Hilarious.
That Barney, he's a real knee slapper. So they get back in the truck. She's talking about how she doesn't feel welcome at the home because they think that she abandoned them or something. And then when she gets back, Connie informs Linda that Mr. Collins has died and that Lance has had a stroke in the process of finding him.
Oh, yeah.
And this is when we're introduced to Dr. Barton, and she has a conversation with him. And then she's back with Barney.
Oh, it's okay. I don't know if this is the scene, but because my
Well, there's a hurting cat scene.
But there is a scene where Linda's talking to Dr. Barton, and it's showing her in the mirror, and then the camera swivels around to show the back of her and her in the mirror and Dr. Barton in the shot, and it's really cool.
I think that is this.
Okay, yeah. I thought that shot was really cool because it starts out with.
I was just like, are they
it starts
flirting?
out with her, and then then you realize it's her in the mirror, but then it like pulls back and you see the back of her, and then like I don't know, I just thought it was cool.
It's beautiful. But do you guys think that she's being portrayed as like a loose woman in a way? Because
No,
like she's
I don't
kind
get
of
that.
she's making eyes with the young guy that brings the old lady. And then kind of flirting with him on the road or whatever.
Are you talking about Linda?
And then she's flirting with Barney. I kind of was like, is the doctor flirting with her? Is she
I
flirting with the
didn't get to that
doctor
at all.
in this scene?
I didn't get that
I mean,
either.
I might be a little bit aloof about something
Aloof
like that.
would not be the right word, but
It could be.
No.
So now she's with Barney, changing clothes,
but
and they're gonna go out. But when she finds out Carol
No,
is the one gonna take them, she's like, "Nah, Carol's a bitch, yo." She's not very happy, and she's like, "I'm gonna stay." And she is walking in after Barney leaves with Carol, and she sees somebody up in her bedroom window, and she ends up falling asleep at the desk. After she gets back to her room,
She finally got somebody in her bedroom.
I'm sorry. When she
desk.
first she sees somebody up in the window. When she goes back inside, she kind of catches Connie and the doctor, like talking and being like, "Come here, you," or something like that. And she like knocks on the door.
this was at the point when I wrote, "Oh, Dr. Barton's a red herring." I'm now assuming that
Totally.
Connie is as well.
And as soon as she has that
And then the
encounter
music
with them,
is- then the music
she gets
is
that,
awesome.
Well, y'all see that elongating dream hallway scene
Are
while
you
she's
talking
awake.
about? Did you talk about her in the bed and she's reading the diaries and like the camera is like swirling around her?
That's about to happen. I
Okay,
think.
I love that
So
shot.
she goes into Lance's, and somebody's opened the window in there. She goes in there and closes it, and she goes and falls asleep at her desk. And the cat comes and wakes her up, and she sees like a shadow in the hallway, but she doesn't really think much of it, and the cat starts following it and ends up jumping in bed with the dead man. I think with the dead man. But she's looking at a...
Jumping in bed with a dead man is a good concept album name.
But, okay, so after...
that and Old Dawn?
Because I know that after the camera swirling, we have that really, like, cool, creepy shot where she's running down the hallway and then outside.
Right now she's...
It sounds like a Peter Gabriel album.
She's looking at the ledger. All his
albums Peter Gabriel.
She's looking at the ledger, and she sees these things where it says Dr. B, and then, like, Rita in parentheses. So it looks like the mother has been paying the doctor something about Rita, but she thinks Rita's been dead since before her mother was dead. So the lights go out, and there's like a scary doll when she's looking at the flashlight, and she's going to check the breaker box, and then she's like looking for the cat, and she's like, puss, puss. And she sees that somehow Collins
has
got
again.
Puss, puss.
Damn.
Puss, puss.
You got that shit on fucking lock.
But she's looking for the cat, and this is why I thought the cat jumped in with Collins, because she sees that Collins' body has been like uncovered, like his face is uncovered. And she sees his face. And when she turns around after covering him back up, there's a confused old lady there, and she sends her back to bed, fixes the breakers, and then Barney calls, and he's like, I need to see you. But she hears like the cat and heavy breathing on the phone line with her. So she's like, hold on, but he can't hear her. There's like this mix up where she's put the phone down, and he's like, you can't hear that she says, I'll be right back, because there's a truck going by. And she leaves the phone off the hook and goes to the room where the other phone is still on the hook. But we hear breathing too. We hear that like killer breathing. And this is where the shower and the sinks have been turned on, and everything is overflowing.
Yeah.
Nobody's in there. It seems like there's going to be like a dead body in there, but it's just like the taps running.
Well, there's the shower that she has to pull back.
Dude, anytime that's ever happened in a house I've lived at, when the shower and or sink overflows and starts going to the floor,
dude,
it's
always worked out everywhere I've lived.
I've always just like got this feeling in my stomach.
Dude, my house right now, I'm getting kicked out at the end of the month, but that's what's going on.
Are you saying we should have a big party and crash your house?
No, I can't. Dude, how do you
kidding.
How do you live in a fucking place where the bathtub is not always full of water and the sink doesn't runneth over? Like, I don't know. That's how we do it.
I bet we could
That's how I do it.
We might be able to get you out of the pit, man.
Shit, I'm glad to know down under they do it too.
You'd probably rather live alone. So
let's call it hay.
That's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so an Australian person might know, but did you guys hear this weird fucking bird noise?
Colin Hay.
Oh, I thought you said Colin. I thought you were talking about the guy
this is for Hugo.
I thought you were talking about the guy that was in, I think, not Orange Juice. What? The guy that was in Baby
Emily,
Pulp.
He was get your hands off my throat.
Wasn't he in the band Pulp? The guy that did the song, Colin Newman.
That's UK.
He was in the band Pulp, though, I think.
Colin Newman was in Wire.
Wire, that's it.
Is Wire Australian?
Yeah. No.
Oh, shit.
It was just, I got confused. No, that's
Radio Birdman.
But you know what I'm
name drop.
Yeah, Radio Birdman.
You know what I'm talking about? That song Alone that's in Silence of the Lambs that he does by himself.
Colin Newman does.
Yeah, he has a whole album by himself. It's really good.
I've got a couple of his solo albums, but
yeah, it's called Alone. It's better than the Q Lazarus song.
Oh,
I'll play it for you anyway. Okay, go ahead.
Is it going to be our closing credit?
Not today. No, because it's not Australian. It's
got to be Radio Birdman for this.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
Hey, so guys, did you guys hear this?
I come from a land down under.
No. Christ on a crutch. Did you guys hear those weird bird noises that are not American birds?
Grackles?
Were they Australian birds?
They were like, but I thought they were night birds. But
there's grackles down in Texas. They are American birds, and they make weird sounds.
Well, we're not in America.
This is like more like a loon.
No, we're
which is again American.
Yeah, we're not in America.
I couldn't tell what the fuck was making these noises. It could be
Okay, so where are we right now?
More than halfway through.
Okay, are we having the fight with Barney yet?
This is where there's the weird noises and the cool statue in the night. Mm-hmm. And Linda's in bed and sweaty again. She starts having the nightmares again. This is where the thing happens that you're talking about, right? And she's had, like, while she's sleeping, you see Collins in the water, like, at her window, like, fucking, it looked like Salem's Lot, but underwater Salem's Lot. That shit was cool.
Yeah. That's the only good scene in that movie.
But then we see somebody opening the window, but it turns out to be Barney. Barney breaks in, and they make love. Including a lot of chin.
And it is like cheesy fucking porno, like, you know, like shadowy sex or whatever, like 70s sex.
Yeah, he has that girl on the he's like, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. She doesn't like Carol. But yeah, they have sex. Would? And we can tell this morning because there's dew on a spider web. That's a concept album. Drops of dew on the spider's web. But
that's a psychedelic album.
So Barney's like, peace, I'm out. She's going to go take a shower. And the old people are all taking a field trip except for Lance. And Connie's not going. But I really love this koala puppet that they have for the old people. You know what I'm talking about?
Koala puppet for the old people?
Yeah, they're getting on the bus.
And you like it?
Yeah, the puppet of the koalas.
Oh, it's a puppet, yeah. Earlier when they were getting in the van to go somewhere, like, one of them has that koala puppet.
I think I see it again at the diner.
At the diner?
The diner.
The diner.
Damn it.
Crikey, mate.
I'm not going to do that.
It's crikey. It's crikey really Australian?
Yes.
Crikey. But yeah, there's a koala puppet. Y'all should have paid attention to that.
Well, I said, where's Lance and Lowell at this dude with the koala puppet?
Well, Lance is pulling some weird hat out of a fountain.
That was earlier though.
And she puts him back in bed. And that's where I'm at. And he tells her then that Rita didn't die.
That's where you're at.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I said, I love
Rita,
Lance.
the ant, is still alive.
That's because I wrote, I love Lance. He's awesome. Plus, he has all the tea.
He does.
All the gossip.
He's spilling tea.
So,
Carol comes, and she's still outside. She sees Carol
the next scene is, that's the mirror. Or the next time she sees Dr. Barton is that mirror scene.
She sees Carol leaving, but somebody else is driving Carol's car. She ain't tripping. And then she has a conversation with Connie at the clothesline. That's what Nick was talking about earlier, that beautifully blocked scene.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And Linda is convinced, tells Connie that she's convinced somebody else was in the house. And Connie's kind of acting like,
Connie's acting like a red
crazy.
herring.
But Connie was also acting like her mom was crazy. So, this is when you hear that loon noise again. And Barney and Linda are at the diner. And she wants to know who was with Carol. I think maybe she's like saying you were with Carol, but she saw him get on the truck earlier. I don't know.
I think she just wants to know.
And this is when she when she gets back home, Linda has a conversation with the doctor.
That's
Barton
the mirror scene
about Rita.
That's the mirror scene. And that's when I realized
it lingers on that weird painting as well.
Yeah.
The painting of the lady like laying in the grass in front of...
No, that's a famous painting. That painting's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful thing. Yeah.
And then I wrote, really the music is awesome now.
So she's like Lance. Lance she's telling him to talk to Dr. Barton. And Rita's like, Lance says Rita died.
The girl like laying on the grass looking at the
did not die.
Or whatever. Or
I don't care.
And the doctor's like,
awesome.
She didn't die.
I don't like
here.
art.
Really? Emily, you don't like art?
God damn.
As a joke.
I mean, I guess that's the natural fucking path to a podcast, but you know, like hating art.
This is art, man.
Yeah.
If you hate this movie, if you hate art,
you hate movies and music and everything else. If you hate art, it's it was a joke. But anyway, go on.
That's why I can still hate space because space is an art. Unless there is a God.
That makes no sense. Go on.
If there is a God, then maybe space is art. So the doctor's like, no, Rita died somewhere else. And then we see a nudie pin. Like it's one of those pins with a lady on it. And when you hold it up right, all her clothes come off.
The music's awesome because it's Claude Schultz.
Who's Claude Schultz?
He's one of the first pioneers of synth music and krautrock.
Oh, okay. So... There's a sprinkler again with the water stuff, and she sees a figure in her window, and I have written down "bitch and synth" here.
Yeah,
she's running inside. Yeah. She's running inside because she just again saw Rita in her window.
Is that the hallway?
And she's looking around the house for the figure she saw, and Connie's like, "Nobody's here except me, you, and Lance." And she's like, "Oh, and Lance is asleep." It's like, "Yeah," but she finds her mom's robe and diary, and She starts reading old logbooks because.
Go on.
Okay.
I wanted some ambiance.
The current diary is like 20 some. This stuff happened 20 years ago. So she starts getting all the old diaries, the logbooks for the old person's home, and getting shit pieced together. And her mom says something about she's been experiencing the exact same shit that's been bothering Linda since Linda moved in. And then we see
she's been experiencing the exact same shit since Linda moved in. That sounds like she's been experiencing Linda.
Yeah.
Wait.
You mean Linda realizes she's experiencing the same things her mom experienced.
I know. And she finds out that from her mom reading the diary, that she did find a drowned man. It's not just some shit from her dream.
And he's all mine.
And we still don't really know what happened and why she didn't live with her mom anymore after a certain point.
Well, I guess we know now. But so Linda's searching
I didn't like
for
that.
records
there was
now. She's got the names of the people that died, and she's looking for their shit in Connie's office. Connie and the doctor go upstairs.
Connie and the doctor are married, by the way.
So they're married?
Connie and the doctor started a spin-off series.
It's Connie Barton and Dr. Barton.
They're married? I had no clue.
That's what it's called.
They could have done better.
Connie Barton and Dr. Barton. The spin-off series.
I know.
Darf.
The Next of Kin Part 2.
Yeah. So she's looking at these old records.
Series.
And the doctor had told her...
a medicine woman, but it's not who you think.
The doctor had written down all these different deaths, but the mom said in the diaries that they're all drowning. So she's like hiding from the doctor and Connie, because she thinks these motherfuckers are killers. So she goes to Colin's room, and the doctor comes up from behind her, and she runs, but they've got the car locked up. There's a little bit of a chase, not too tedious though. And she runs to the fire hall where Barney is at.
Yeah, I didn't think any of this movie got tedious.
It really didn't. She barges into this fireman's meeting and makes a big scene about how she can't open this door, and Barney's just looking at everybody that's crazy bitch.
Okay, so they get in a fight though, and I thought that part was really cool because when she's fighting with him
under the full moon,
so they start yelling at each other, but then the music comes in and covers.
Yeah, you can't really hear what they're saying.
But I think it's cool though, but it covers up what they're saying.
Yeah,
it's when she's really, and then when she's really freaking out, then it just cuts out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool.
They're I think that's when they're walking under those transformers, on the way back home, and Barney's like, "I'm gonna go in alone," actually, she's like, "I don't want to go in. You can." So Barney goes in. And she's sitting there, standing outside waiting for him, and she notices that the fountain starts spitting blood instead of water.
The blood fountain is the shit.
And whose corpse is that? I could not figure out who was that. Connie?
It's Carol.
Oh, it's Carol. Yeah. Okay, so she tries to pick up the phone. It's dead, and she's like, "Fuck! I gotta find Barney because he's been gone for a while." And she's right next to the staircase, and this person in a wheelchair comes flying at her,
dude. This shit,
and it's fucking awesome. Barney, dude.
It's
and he
so good.
When he hits her or the stairs or something, he stands up, but he's dead, and he's bleeds all over, and I'd freak the fuck out. No, the way that was shot and everything, I thought it was so cool. But yeah, so she tries to get Lance, and she helps him escape outside the window. And
one of the best scenes is coming up, dude. It's so good.
It's crazy. The remaining parts of this movie are great. So
I did say tense, but a little tedious, even though the shot is cool. So I did think one part was tedious. I did write still love Lance, though.
Lance is gone. But the old lady, that's when the old lady showed up the first night she was there.
But did you just talk about the Barney wheelchair dead thing?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't.
All lenses are unfilmable.
That shot was cool, though.
It was fucking cool. Me and Nick were talking about how cool of an effect it was.
Okay, sorry, I was gone for a second.
So now Aunt Rita's here with her son, I guess Linda's cousin, and Linda's cousin has a fucking hammer, a big ass hammer, but she knocks him out with a chair, like some kind of WWF shit, and she locks herself in the bathroom, and that's where we see Connie and Dr. Barton dead in the tub, dead, super dead. But apparently, Aunt Rita is yelling through the door, and she's like, I don't know how that Linda knew she was putting her eye right through the keyhole, but she has like an ice pick or some shit, and she stabs through the keyhole, hitting the old lady in the eye.
That is one of the best scenes ever.
It's fucking great.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but any fucking like eye through a keyhole scene.
Were
like,
they both
they
looking?
They did that in Black Christmas too.
They do it in Child's Play too. It's always creepy.
I think it's the best one. I think the best time is in Black Christmas.
So she runs downstairs and
Personally.
drives out of there like a bat out of hell to the diner. And the kid lets her in, but the fucking payphone's not working. And she's like, is there a gun around here? Get a gun. And the kid's all dressed up in his dad's war gear. And there's like a dancing competition on TV. And she's stacking like sugar cubes. And like
that shit
scraping
is
the sugar
fucking
cube.
surreal,
like the
man.
last couple of sugar cubes
yeah.
in the bowl. She's like scraping it against the side. And it's like
It's
this crazy.
fucking crazy.
It's beautiful,
awesome.
but so
it's
disturbing.
Very, very good.
And she's like, she runs out of sugar cubes when she only needs one left, and the kid pushes her another one. She stacks the very last sugar cube, and everything falls over. And it probably would have not fallen over, except the guy in the van is driving through the fucking wall.
It's so good.
He starts trying to hammer. He's got a big wrench now, and he's like busting out the windshield, and he keeps driving forward. And the little boy has this gun, and he shoots once. I think it hits like the fucking the pinball machine. And then he shoots again and hits the gas tank. So there's like sparking wires and gas here. But she takes the gun from the kid and walks up to the fucking guy and just blows his goddamn head off.
Yeah.
And I thought it looked great.
Yeah. It's
So she blows his head off, and then we get back to the open. Like it's like one of those circular deals where there's Linda, bloody, walks around the truck, puts her head down, and like Nico's like, we got to get the hell out of here, lady. Like it's about to explode, because he noticed the gas and wire shit. And she gets in the car, and as she's driving off, there are huge explosions.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It is awesome.
There's
some kind of chase going on over here.
Linda.
It's Linda running for her life.
Dude, no. The shit. Yeah. This movie is
okay.
really,
So
really
kill
count.
One is Mr. Collins. He's strangled / choked / drowned at almost 20 minutes off screen by Rita and Kelvin. 2 is Carol. Her throat slit with a knife off screen. 1 hour and 10 minutes. So that's 50 minutes after the first kill. Then we have Barney. He's knifed in the neck and bludgeoned off screen. Rita and Kelvin, 1 hour and 11 and a half minutes later. So that's just a minute later, but pretty much. Then 4 is Connie Barton. She's knifed and bled to death in the bathtub off screen. I didn't have a time for that. I don't think I had a time. These all happened pretty quickly after, so I stopped doing the times. Then we have Dr. Barton. He's knifed and bleeds to death in the bathtub. Then we have Rita, who's impaled in the eye with a hairpin by Linda, and Kelvin, whose head is blown off with a shotgun by Linda.
the fucking hairpin through the keyhole is...
There's a hairpin?
Yeah.
It's something through a keyhole.
I thought it looked
that
like an ice
is
pick
so
almost.
fucking
So cool.
awesome. Like, that one's like painful to watch. It's like, ugh.
How did she know her eye was there? Were they like looking each other through it for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she like checked it first and was like, fuck. And like they were talking to each other through, or not talking to each other, but like.
So here's some trivia. An earlier draft of the film was more of a black comedy. I already talked about the girl diner here. So Klaus Schultz. That's the guy that did the music. He's a German synth pioneer, and he also used the alias Richard Wanfried, and was a member of krautrock bands Tangerine Dream.
This is Tangerine Dream stuff. That makes sense.
Ashra Temple and the Cosmic Jokers, before launching a solo career consisting of more than 60 albums released across 6 decades.
Damn.
He was the drummer of one of the early incarnations of Tangerine Dream. Lance's war stories were improvised.
Oh, nice.
This is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite
There I was.
This is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite horror movies.
I was locked out of the bloody barracks, and I figured it was about time to just walk back.
10 clicks outside in the nang.
He often compares it to The Shining.
It does have that kind of dread.
It does have, yeah.
It was shot in 50 days.
Beautiful house, too.
I was wrong about it being the first one, but it is considered Ozploitation, which is Australian exploitation. The movie in 1982 was the winner of the Best Film Award at this thing, Sitges International Fantastic Film Festival in Spain.
Sounded it out, Emily.
No. He did win. So it says that Next of Kin was all but ignored in Australia, yet won Best Director ahead of Sam Raimi for The Evil Dead at that same award show.
That's cool.
And it's actually one of the most prestigious awards in fantasy cinema.
So, like the Australian Oscars?
No, this this is a fantasy cinema.
This award was not an Australian award.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
It was
they call them the Richards.
This film featured an early
Dicks.
Was one of the first movies that used had an extensive use of Steadicam.
Yeah, for sure.
The famous final scene was serendipity for the film. The camera was supposed to track into the back of the truck, which would then depart. After panning around to look back at the diner, it was going to explode. However, the special effects man activated the explosion too soon while the camera was still panning, reflecting it onto a highway sign. So at the release, many of the audience members commented that not showing the explosion fully was the strongest part of the scene.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I thought her blowing his fucking head off.
I mean, okay, so like what I was saying earlier.
John, I'm not done. John Jarrett, who played Barney, was in a bunch of the Wolf Creek movies.
Okay.
And he's also in Picnic at Hanging Rock.
I still have not seen that. That's what I want to see.
And then Alex Scott, who played Dr. Barton, was in Fahrenheit 451, The Abominable Dr. Phibes, and Romper Stomper.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait, which one is this?
Dr. Barton.
Dr. Barton?
Yeah, he was in Fahrenheit 451, Abominable Dr. Phibes, and Romper Stomper.
Yeah.
I really like Romper Stomper a lot.
I've not seen it since I was a teenager.
I watched it maybe like 10 years ago, I think. I don't remember much about it. I mean, I know it's like, isn't it kind of like Australia's American History X? Yeah. Not welcome.
Oh, God.
Hey,
yeah, that's fucking terrible. Don't give people the wrong idea.
They made our people the vampire. They made our people the reptilian. What do we have to do to gain acceptance? Kanye even fucking hates us.
Well, you have to invite the vampire in.
Wait.
That's what they say in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Wait, what now?
No, I mean, I think it goes back further than that.
Well, I know. But anyway, what do you rate this, Nick?
This movie, I rate it 5 stars.
5. We got the 5 from Nikki.
No, it's very, very amazing.
God, I wish I knew what I rated.
Okay, so I was saying, I said it earlier, but there's this one shot where there's like linen, like lined up.
Yeah, we've talked about 3 times now. So
it doesn't matter.
Just letting you know.
It's such a good shot.
Somebody, it is.
What about the fountain of blood,
that's art.
man?
That's cinema. That's really, really good. It's beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's really, really good. Yeah, 5.
I give it. I can't give it 4. So I give it a really strong 3.75.
I think it's as good as Tenebrae, and I think I gave Tenebrae 4.
I think I give Tenebrae 3.75.
I think it's really
I'm
intense
gonna go 4.
and fun.
I'm going
and like
4.
very, very like.
I think I would give it a hard,
an involving movie.
Maybe even more.
I give it a hard 3.75. I would give it a loose 4.
We should do. I think
it's
a good
great.
A good Patreon exclusive.
I don't think it's perfect. I don't. Here's the deal. I did write the reason for my rating. And
I've got an extra idea.
So I said it did have a great pacing, awesome shots. However, it wasn't super fun. The deaths are off screen and few and far between. I would definitely rate it higher as a psychological horror thriller.
Sure.
But as a slasher, it's getting a 3.75.
No, okay, so like I mean, well, regardless, I'm still staying with the 5. But the thing
That's
is,
probably
like,
the highest you've given, like, anything but like 2 or 3 movies we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard for you to get like a 4 on me. Like,
but I mean, like, it was like an very involving movie.
You did say it wasn't tedious, which is a lot coming from you.
From me?
From her.
Me.
Oh.
Well, you gave it a 5. I mean, that's a lot coming from you.
I think it's awesome.
Not really. After he gave it a humongous 5.
Yeah,
so it kind of that kind of discredits.
What would you guys think about for an
totally
exclusive if we each ranked the movies we've done quickly? Because I feel like we're getting to the point where the rating, like, I don't remember I knew I liked this more than.
Okay, but anyway, so stay gagged because we need.
Oh yeah.
Stay gagged on hairpins.
Stay gagged on Vegemite.
Stay gagged on the Triffids. Stay gagged on Nick Cave.
Why?
Stay gagged on Nick Cave. Oh, I love Nick Cave.
Why?
Why do I love Nick Cave?
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Boys Next Door.
Birthday party.
The birthday party.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't. Okay, whatever. I don't care.
Stay gagged on
Seeds.
I don't like Nick Cave, so. Stay gagged on all of our social media: Instagram, TikTok, Gag Me with a Knife Podcast, Twitter, Gag Knife Pod. Buy our merch at
Don't we just
buy
need
our
one
merch
more?
at gagmewithaknifepodcast.com. Become a Patreon for member shout-outs, fan requested episodes like this one, early access to episodes.
Katie,
as well
hi, Katie.
hey Katie.
She's not Australian.
As well as
Katie.
she probably fucks one that's Australian. As well as
it doesn't matter.
Patreon exclusive bonus episodes. We have 4 up so far. So we'll have 6 up. Well, I mean, we'll have at least 5 up by the time this comes out, I think.
Huh?
Patreon exclusives. Anyway, so become a Patreon, and we can do a horror movie for you like this one. And Hugo, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you for this movie.
This movie ruled.
G'day,
Thank you
Mike.
so much.
Good day.
Get on.
I'm not doing that.
Get
I'm not
on.
doing that.
Sorry about us liking Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
They're fucked up.
Nah, man.
I bet you he likes
What's a
Crocodile
donk?
Dundee.
That's a donk.
No.
All right. Well,
Do you
see you
remember Donk,
guys
the guy who
on
gets
our
punched?
regularly scheduled day of
Stay gagged
Wednesday,
on
since
Donk.
this is going to be a Friday episode. So, see you guys.